Good morning. Hello. Happy Friday. Alex Greenwood here, tuning in with you on Facebook Live as we roll out the last of the refresh, the last of the reboot, the revise, the remax, I don't know, I'm out of re's, of the book covers for the John Pilate Mystery Series. And I'm so excited and thrilled at the response we're getting. Sales are up, which is nice. It's not going to buy me a vacation home. Sales are up, but still, sales are up. We're doing a new push. As you can tell, I am doing a new push for the series because I believe in the series. And it's 10 years down the road. We've got 6 books that I'm very proud of. And if you're watching this, you're probably one of those folks who agrees with that. And you love these characters and you want to keep it coming. And I do too. I've tried to quit John Pilate. I just can't seem to quit him. But that's another story from another day. But I mean, I've tried to quit and move on. And I am writing other things. But a good friend of mine told me, buddy, you don't have to get rid of John Pilate to write other things. And he's right. So that's what I'm doing. And so this morning, really quickly, I'm going to reveal the book cover for Pilate's Blood. If you're listening on the podcast, you know, we're kind of simulcasting these. I'm going to simulcast this. I'm on the Mysterious Goings On podcast. If you're listening on the podcast, please don't forget to endorse this episode on Whatpods. And I'll try to remember to put a link in the show notes, or you can just Google Whatpods and then look for Mysterious Goings On. All you got to do is endorse the show. You sign up once, you endorse the show. You just click like, that's a good show. That's a good episode. That's really important for me as a part of this marketing push to find new readers, new listeners, hopefully turn into new readers. Okay. I want to walk you through really quickly what we've done previously with the book covers. And again, if you're listening on the podcast, I'll include the new cover in your show notes. But if you want to see everything, go to the John Pilate Mysteries Facebook page, and this video, the complete show with yours truly and his bedhead, will be on there, and you'll see all these covers and all these on screens and things that I'm sharing. Okay? All right, here we go. I'm going to keep this moving right along. Don't forget, I did mention the Mysterious Goings On podcast. It's coming out weekly now, pretty much. It's picking up some steam. And as I mentioned previously, I'm feeling better and doing a better job of getting content out there and making it very much part of my daily job and weekly job is to get new content out there. So please tune in there if you would. Whatpods, as I said, please endorse us on Whatpods. Just go to whatpods.com and look up Mysterious Goings On, and you'll see there's a little place where you can endorse each episode if you like them and say it's good content, whatever you think there. Give a little mini review, and it doesn't take any time at all. Sign up once and then just show up and click. So Jason McIntyre, my gosh, my dear friend, brilliant writer. It's just not fair, frankly, that one guy is like an incredible writer and a very damn good book cover artist, but there you go. I mean, he apparently showed up to the talents booth a couple of times when they were handing out these talents because he's just done a phenomenal job. I'll draw your attention to my grandfather, Robert E. Trevathan's last book that I worked with him on posthumously. But Jason did the cover for Big Cabin and Dispatches from the West, and it's available exclusively paperback and ebook on Amazon. So Jason did that wonderful cover. He started off with the new cover for Pilate's Cross, which is also just wonderful. It's a excellent cover. It really captures the flavor of the book trailer we did 10 years ago that was professionally produced book trailer. And if you haven't seen that, you can find the links everywhere and all my stuff on. But if you can't find it, let me know. And every now and then I put it back up on the Facebook page to watch. But I think you can find it there. It's really worth watching. So he did a wonderful job on that one. And that also includes doing the audiobook version, which is basically just making it a square for audiobooks. Because I think the audiobook format is back to the days when most audiobooks were on cassette or CD, and that's for the packaging. But anyway, he redid that for me on that one. So you may recall then that, he went after Pilate's Key, which is just about the most popular selling of the series, book 2 in the series. I always like that cover, and I've covered this in previous episodes, so I'm not going to go into rationale here. I just want to quickly go through and show these to you. And so he went from this one to this one. And, I'll be straight up. I've got some people who don't like the overt sexual undertones of this one. I don't make any apologies. I'm not going to apologize for trying very hard to get attention and to be commercial. I think it's still tasteful. I think it's eye-catching, obviously. I've had some people just, I can just tell they're not thrilled with it. But, it works for the book. It works for what the book's about. This is the beach. This is sun. This is murder. This is sex. There's more sex in this book than all the rest of the books put together. Proud of this cover. I think it's a bit daring in some ways, but if sales are an indication, which are starting to pick up again, it was a good decision. So I think Jason did a marvelous job on that. Pilate's Ghost, our third book, which this had with this wonderful initial cover, which is really, it's dense with really great concepts and interesting stuff, but it's just flipping hard to figure out what it says, especially when it's about the size of a postage stamp on an Amazon screen. So JMac came back with this because this is the Pilate's Ghost. There is a ghost in the way chasing Pilate. And I just thought Jason did a marvelous job encapsulating that. Jason also did a refresh on Pilate 7. This is our book of short stories. This is pretty much the same concept he did initially a few years ago, but he updated it where it's just a little more readable and a little more in line with the series refresh that we're doing here. So very nice with that. And that brings us, I guess I'll go out of order here real quick. He also, of course, did, let me see, Pilate's Rose, which was one of the first covers he did. And this was something he did that we're not going to refresh because he already did it. And that's kind of the template for the way the series is going to look. So there's the Rose cover there. But that brings us to Pilate's Blood, which was done by another artist. And I've said previously, I thought that they did a nice job on it. This is one of my favorite of the series. It's kind of an Old West homage. It's an homage to my grandfather, who I've mentioned earlier in this broadcast. It's an homage to that. It's an homage to the westerns of Howard Hawks and John Wayne, and I'm just really proud of that book. And I thought this cover pretty much got it, but I wanted to show a little more than just small town with storm clouds over it. I wanted to show some literal menace, and Jason and I, this was the hardest one for Jason and I, because we kind of went round and round on this cover. And we didn't argue, but I had some ideas that were very much throwbacks to the Old West posters for those movies, those John Wayne type movies that I thought were so good. And he acknowledged that, but he kind of talked me out of it, saying that's great, but that's not going to fit in the aesthetic that we're doing for the whole series. It's just not going to work right. And he tried, and he came up with a couple of good concepts, but we finally settled on one that was a happy medium for us both. It had that menace, but it also had that tremendous visual interest and maintained the aesthetic. So, without further ado, I'd like to present to you Jason McIntyre's concept for Pilate's Blood. And there you have it. Remember when I was talking, you've got the small town kind of backdrop. You've got the storm clouds. You've got the menacing dude with a gun. Because, Pilate's Blood, there's a showdown at the jail, and this, to me, it just points towards, this is some serious danger that Pilate and his friends are in. And I think it's very eye-catching, and I'm very, 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 very pleased with it. So, there you have it. There's Pilate's Blood. And that puts the refresh activities to an end. And, the series is what it is now. And I'm going to refer you to, let me put this over here. I'm going to refer you to my screen where Amazon.com is. Amazon.com now has the entire series listed as a series. So the whole series is now listed on Amazon.com as a series. I waited to finalize this for a lot of reasons, including the cover refresh. But if you go here, if you ever want to know, and I'll put this link up today, you've got the books in order, and you can find them on Amazon. Or and you may think you've read the whole series and you haven't. Maybe you're missing Pilate's Ghost, or maybe you're going, oh, I didn't read Pilate's Key, or maybe these new covers are confusing you. And I'm so excited about these books and about putting them all together where you can find them under one roof. And of course, you can still, go to my author page and find other stuff too. But I wanted to share that with you, show you what's up with that. So let me go back here. Let's go back to me. Hi. Okay, so don't forget to go to pilatescross.com and fill in the box here. There'll be a pop-up, and you can fill in your email address and your name and your birthday. for a special present for your birthday coming up. We are starting a 2 emails a month mailing list, all part of getting the word out, just reminding you what's going on. I will not abuse the privilege. I swear this is not me going to be spamming you every other day, and I'm not going to sell this list to anybody else, and I'm not going to, I mean, if somebody wants to buy space in our email list, buy an ad at the bottom of the emails I'm sending you, that's one thing, but I'm not about to sell the list to, marketing companies and all that, and then all of a sudden you're spammed. I'm not going to do that. So don't fear about that. It's just a way I can keep in touch with you, and I will keep it to about 2 a month, unless it's a release month or like 30 days before release. I might do 1 a week to remind you about the release of the pre-order and stuff like that.